Just 12% of Indiana's infants and toddlers have access to licensed childcare in pre-K. There are a number of obstacles standing in the way of expansion, including high operating costs, low wages for professionals, and expensive tuition. Now, in Perry County, a group of businesses, county officials, and individuals have worked to keep the area's only licensed childcare and preschool center open. As Indiana Public Broadcasting's Jeannie Lindsay reports, they say it's part of a strategy to attract workers and their families to the area.
3 years ago, most of these kids were just learning to use words and stand on two legs. Others weren't even alive yet. And some might have never ended up here in Tell City if Perry Preschool and Childcare hadn't opened its doors.
Back in 2013, we met with our major employers. A continual topic that was brought to the table by the employers was childcare and how it affected workforce.
Erin Emerson works for the Perry County Development Corporation. Her whole job centers around drawing families and young people to the area because there are more jobs here than there are people to fill them. Businesses complained a major piece was missing: a quality childcare center.
There was a lot of in-home, but no licensed facility. People were continually running into issues with lack of access.
Fast forward to 2015, a board of business and community leaders came together to open a center, and it's been a huge relief for some parents, like local family businessman Brad Fronsman.
Our son, he's going to be 4 years old, and he's really learned a lot just from, from speech, from verbal to physical activity. He's grown leaps and bounds in 2 years that he's been here.
There's a traditional and an advanced preschool classroom, plus 3 rooms for toddlers and infants. The center serves kids from all over the county. It's the only state-licensed center for miles. There are nearly 80 kids who want a spot, but the facility can only take 56 at a time. The shortage of spots isn't unique to Perry County. It's a statewide problem. Center Administrator Anna Seifert says it really all comes down to money.
We do everything that we do here on a day-to-day, cent-by-cent basis.
It's difficult to attract and keep highly qualified or sometimes any staff. Seifert says not a single person on Perry Preschool and Childcare's payroll, for example, takes home more than $10 an hour. And some have student loan debt.
I know that if my husband didn't have the job that he had, I couldn't afford to do this job.
But more money could end up with childcare providers as Indiana focuses on building up the state's workforce. Because Emerson says there's an undeniable connection between childcare and the business community. Perry County's major employers have coughed up more than $200,000 to keep the center's doors open.
Had it just been about early childhood education, I think that no one could have denied the benefits. But had it been something that an economic development organization would partner with and take such a role in, no.
The state does offer a program to help low-income families afford high-quality preschool. It's called On My Way Pre-K, but it's offered in fewer than a quarter of Indiana's counties. A lot of lawmakers want to see it expand statewide, including to places like Perry County. But with limited state revenue, it's unlikely they'll be able to do it in the upcoming session. Meanwhile, the state's Family and Social Services Administration has made moves to study and grow community-based childcare systems. But as progress at the state level trudges along, providers hope pairing their efforts with workforce development will help them make room for more, even younger learners. For Indiana News Desk, I'm Jeannie Lindsay.
And Jeannie Lindsay is here to tell us a bit more about the state of early childhood care in Indiana. Jeannie, thanks for coming on.
Yeah,
of course, money is a driving force here.
Yeah.
So why is child care so expensive?
So licensing rules are really thorough. They cover basic things around like emergency planning and first aid, but they get really specific when it comes to food and meal planning, the features that need to be in a building, equipment, and so maintaining all of that with insurance and staffing costs, it really just adds up. And providers are looking for more ways to streamline those costs, make them more efficient, but in places like Perry County, when there are limited people and providers around, they've had to partner with workforce people, employers, and the community.
And you mentioned that the state has been working to expand services and expand access. What exactly does that mean?
Yeah, so the state has been making progress on offering more grants for providers to expand their capacity and for low-income families to access childcare. But more recently, the state applied for a nearly $10 million federal grant that will basically help the state assess Indiana's needs, improve information sharing, and grow some of these community-based systems like we're seeing in Perry County, and hopefully replicate them in other areas.
Now, what about On My Way Pre-K?
Yeah, so On My Way Pre-K focuses on pre-K, and it helps low-income families afford high-quality preschool. It's only available in 20 of Indiana's 92 counties, but there are some funds there that help providers expand their capacity in the non-On My Way Pre-K counties. And so Governor Holcomb has said that he envisions keeping that at current funding levels, but that kind of goes against what advocates and some lawmakers are hoping to improve access for families across the state.
So while we have you here, before you go, we just want to get a little bit of take on how these education priorities kind of fit into the 2019.
Yeah, so early learning is getting more attention, especially as more people connect it to workforce development, workforce needs. But Indiana's got a lot on its plate this year, especially, we've been talking a lot about teacher pay. Lawmakers will have to figure out how much more money they want to give to schools for teachers and how to get that into the hands of teachers. And then school safety is another big piece. Indiana saw 2 school shootings in 2018. And so the governor has a report and recommendations, and lawmakers will have to figure out how to fund those or how to implement some of those things in this upcoming session.
So another big year of education, and of course you'll be following all of it through the State House and everywhere else, right?
Absolutely, yeah. It's going to be an interesting year with the budget, so we'll see how it plays out.
All right, Jeannie, thank you very much.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks.